Welcome back, blade fans. This old sword with you, and we've got another small knife today. I'm not criticizing it for being small. Small things come in good packages or what have you. My riff on that. This is the Civivi Lumi, designed by Justin Lundquist, and it's described as being a low-key top flipper knife. I'll show you that in a moment. That is perfect for EDC and works great as a classy folder for a more refined situation. So this is all advertising talk coming from Civivi and transmitted to us through Blade HQ. My purchase here was from Amazon, and this is a $50 knife. The steel on this one, I believe, is 14C28. We're going to get to the specs in a moment. I'm going to move it around a little bit, show it to you, and compare it to some other such knives. So let's back out first. Don't need a whole lot of room for this knife, but there you can see the scale. Might have looked enormous in the initial opening part of the video, but you can see that it is a discrete handful, but completely enclosed in the hand. Yes, switch is clippable. Yes, the clip is recessed, and the screws are flathead. They're doing it more and more. And there is the end flipper. So it's not a top flipper, it's not a front flipper, it's an end flipper. And the jimping on that is maybe just enough, and you don't want your hands to be oily or slippery, or you won't get it open, I've found. So there it is. I put something up on Instagram with some opening and closing action of this, but you can see you can get all four fingers on there. At least I can. Just get them on there. And of course, if you curled your pinky over the end, it's not going to slip back into your hand. So there's lots of ways to hold a very neutral kind of oval handle. You can hold this point down. Quite good for that. Jabby stabby kind of thing. It is a pointy sort of a blade, kind of a long, almost spear point, drop point, single grind, high grind. It feels hollow, so we're going to call that a hollow grind. Pretty pronounced hollow in there, yes. No jimping. They didn't feel we needed that. And this one is in gray, does come in micarta, might also come in a blacked out version. I'm sure they've gone the full gamut. So let's open and close this guy a few times so you can see the action. Instead of bringing my thumb across, I tend to take the point of my thumb, dig it in a little bit, and snap it down. Works best for me. Coming over the top works sometimes too. Again, you don't want your hands to be wet. And of course, gentlemen never get their hands wet, right? We're dirty. Right. But that's your only method of opening it. There isn't even a nail nick here, as far as I know. And the blade is completely flush with the top of the handle. So, take another look at that while I read you off some specs. Courtesy of Blade HQ. The Lumi has an overall length of 6.09 inches, a blade length of 2.56 inches, a blade thickness of 0.08. I'll give that to you in millimeters in a moment. As I say, my conversions aren't the greatest. It's hollow ground, as I mentioned, has a stonewash, handle length of 3.53 inches. Is there a handle thickness given? Let's see. Scanning the specs here and I don't see that, so we'll get that to you in a moment too. It's a right-hand, left-hand opener and carrier. It is designed by Justin Lundquist and made by Civivi. What's the weight on this guy? Oh, it's only 1.76 ounces. Wow. So I think I got most of that. Let's get you a millimeters blade stock on this. I'm way too close, but it's 1.9 millimeters. Let's back off just a little bit. I zoomed in and didn't zoom back out. 1.9 millimeters. Handle thickness 0.41. Okay, so those are the ones I wanted to grab that we didn't have before. Now, comparatively, in the small knife world, there is the original wee Banter. And you can see that that's a much taller knife. And it actually is longer. Now, I'm really going to knock you out with this one. Here is the Civivi, designed by Ostap. So, if you thought that the Lumi was small, how about that? The whole knife on the Civivi is about as long as just the handle on the Lumi. So yeah, somehow or other I ventured into small knife territory this year. This is a double detent slip joint, by the way. So I find this knife can be right size for a lot of users. Maybe you want to stuff it in a coin pocket, it might work. Or your offside, or your back pocket next to your wallet. And if you get one, get used to the fact that occasionally you will slip off of that unless you practice a lot. We got a very deep carry clip, which is nice. Fully open with just one barrel spacer in the back. Steel liners. And the blade steel, again, gonna have to, it's not marked. Just want to be sure we're giving you the right specs. So the blade steel is Sandvik 14C28N. This will all be up in text on the screen, by the way. Another kind of a look around. I like the gray. Many times I tend towards the gray and the jade when the option is there. Notice that's recessed and there is no plate, but it's not a very deep recess for the clip. Nice looking clip. I like that it's skeletonized, but they didn't punch holes in it like Kubi. Some of the Kubi clips are just, I don't care for them because they got that hole pattern in them. You may like them. Nice kind of a domed pivot surround. There is Justin's logo, JL. I'm surprised they, well, actually they did. And you may not even be able to see it. But, God, Civivi and we are really getting tiny with their, this may not even work. It's in silver on the blade, and you're going to need a magnifying glass to read it, but the blade steel, I believe, is right there. Crazy. Nice stonewash. Sharp edge, quite sharp. And a nice recess there for the liner release with some jimping on it. So I have no problems closing it. And with practice, probably it'll open every time. So you might like this little knife. It's the latest hot item from Civivi on their late September release. Hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a like. I'm coming up, as I've been saying, on 2,000 subscribers. Thank you all very much for watching regularly and your comments and your positivity. I do appreciate it. At 2,000 or a little beyond, we're going to have a giveaway, so stay tuned for that. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Be well.